Hello everyone, I'm Courtney Alexander, and today I'm going to talk to everyone about women in the military. Of course, being a woman today in the United States of America is very hard, being that we have to deal with the stigmas of being weak or not able to be strong enough to handle certain situations. Being a woman in the military can sometimes be a challenging responsibility because, for one, you have to compete with men that are superior to you. Well, men that are considered to be superior to you because of what society has put on women as being the weaker link out of men and women. Women in the military have come a long way since the 1900s. Now in the 2000s, women have become more able to do more things in the military, like enlist as a normal woman, because back then women had to enlist. The only way women could enlist in the army and be on the front lines with the men is if they would enlist as a man or dress up as a man. That's the only way they could have been considered as an option to even be in the army. There was a woman named Deborah back in the 1900s. She enlisted in the army underneath her dead brother's name, because their army didn't want to accept her as a woman. So she had to enlist underneath the name of her brother in order to be considered on the front lines in the army. Later, there was another woman named in Kansas. She dressed up as a man also in order to be considered to join the army and not be in the kitchen or a seamstress or a cook. But the woman in Kansas, she was later found to be a woman, so she was thrown out of the military. Women are often put the stigma that they are only good enough to be cooks or clean or take care of the sick. There was an act that passed that gave women the right to actually become more in the military and not just someone who took care of the sick. During World War I, there were more than 12,000 women who enlisted in the army. But out of the 12,000 that enlisted during World War I, 400 of them died. During World War II, a total of 350,000 women served in the military. I mean, there were more, of course, they were more susceptible to being, to die, because if you're serving on the front lines in the military, then of course you're more susceptible to die and do things that the men do. And if you're doing things that men do, then you're much more susceptible to be on the front lines and lose your life. So I believe women were the glue that held everything together, because women were seen, if you were a man in the military and you had any kind of injury, you had to go through a nurse, and the nurse would nurse you back to good health and make sure everything was right with your health before you could go back on the front lines. So basically, if you needed help with food, or you needed help to shake back and not be sick anymore, a woman had to be there for you and make sure you were right to shake back and get back to the job that you were assigned. Of course, if women weren't there to keep things in place for the military, things wouldn't be in place, like clean clothes, cook food, or things like that. So of course, all in all, women, we've been here for a long time, but we've been discriminated for a long time too. And we've been held back from a lot of things because of the simple fact that we are women. Of course, in this day and age, we have acts that have been passed that gives us the right to enlist in the military and have some of the same rights as men, and have the same rights that were somewhat equal to men in the military. So that gives us somewhat of an advantage. And it's good to see that things are becoming quite equal for men and women, because we are basically on the same page. And we all come from the same thing. So with that being said, I'm Courtney, and I hope I did my job in informing you on women in the military. Thank you.